It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Friday, the 13th of October. I'm Michael Groff. Dry and warm this weekend and into the early part of next week. Temperatures getting rather toasty for mid-October. Today is day number 51 without measurable rain here in Phoenix. How long is that streak going to go on? Do we see any signs of rain in the future? Well, let's talk about it as we look outside this morning here just after 11 a.m. Beautiful day out there. Sunny skies in the valley right now. 84 at Sky Harbor. Dew points at 32. Humidity 15%. The winds are from the east at 8 miles per hour, and the barometer is steady. Temperatures around southern Arizona this morning. 60 degrees over in Alpine. That looks nice. Upper 70s to low and middle 80s here in the valley, and middle and even some upper 80s across south central and southwest Arizona. Here's the water vapor satellite view, and it's the same old pattern we've had all month so far. A pretty impressive ridge across the Gulf Coast and troughing over the Pacific Northwest. And that trough is mostly going to stay north of Arizona, but it is going to help to pull in some additional dry air around here this weekend and some breezy conditions, as we'll talk about momentarily. On the watch warning map, wildfires continue across the valleys of central and northern California. Just a terrible situation there. Just a little further to the north, though, winter weather advisories across parts of Oregon, Idaho, Montana, and the rest of the country is pretty quiet. No organized areas of severe weather for today, but tomorrow, the day 2 convective outlook shows a broad risk of severe weather. The marginal risk from around or just east of Amarillo up to about Muskegon, Michigan. The standard risk, the slight risk, to include Wichita, Topeka, Kansas City, and all the way up into western Illinois. Check of the tropics. I have a couple of interesting features here. There's a little wave east of the Leeward Islands, but that is expected to move west and then start to gain latitude. And about the only threat there may be there is toward Bermuda sometime out into the early or middle part of next week. Now, we also have Ophelia out there in the eastern Atlantic. This is an interesting storm. Category 2 hurricane, maximum sustained winds 100 miles per hour. It's moving to the east-northeast and will eventually affect the British Isles. Should affect Ireland and Scotland as we head into the early part of next week. But that's going to become a post-tropical system. It's just going to be a big wind and rain maker. It will lose its tropical characteristics as it heads up into the northeast Atlantic. Rainfall around our neck of the woods for the next 7 days. This is through Friday morning of next week. Nothing here in the valley. See some indications of some rain heading into northwest Arizona, southern Nevada, southeast or southern California. And there is certainly some indication that we could have some interesting stuff happening around here late next week. So let's talk about that now as we get out to the models and see what's happening. This is the GFS, the 12Z run, valid at 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time today. Cold upper trough to our north, not going to affect us much today. Westerly flow, dry conditions down at the surface. Sunny skies in the valley today. Highs in the mid-90s. Tonight, clear. It's a relatively dry air mass, so lows mainly in the upper 50s to upper 60s. Now, tomorrow, that trough, the axis of the trough, the main bulk of the energy and dynamics will pass to the north of Arizona, but the tail end of that should push through Arizona, and as it does, drier air. Yes, even drier air than what we have now. Instead of dew points in the 30s and 40s, we'll have dew points in the teens and 20s. And some breezy weather, maybe even locally windy across northern Arizona, where winds could gust up to 30 miles per hour here in the valley. Highs again in the low to mid-90s. Sunday morning when you wake up because of the drier air, most of us start the day in the 50s, maybe low 60s in the urban core, and then highs in the low to mid-90s on Sunday. Again, mid-90s on Monday as ridging starts to build back in, the upper heights come up. And the European is indicating highs could be in the upper 90s to near 100 on Tuesday. The GFS has us more in the mid-90s, so we're going to say 94 to 97 for Tuesday, and that might be about the warmest day of the period. Pretty close to that on Wednesday. We'll say 93 to 96. Thursday, a nice trough coming onto the west coast, and this is looking a little bit more impressive. With each model run, this has strengthened the system and sharpened up the trough a little bit. And then as we go to a week from today, this is Friday, the 20th of October. Look at that. Nice looking trough coming our way. Height falls pretty significant off to our west. Southwesterly flow, maybe some moisture gets imported. And look what we've got here. Some rain on the board for next Friday. This is next Friday afternoon, the 20th. and some showers, if this is right, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm. But again, this is a week out and a lot can change. We were showing you a run yesterday that had the rain in here next Thursday. So obviously the GFS has intensified this trough a bit. There's indications that this could happen, but certainly we need to see more run-to-run consistency before we're ready to buy in. But if this by chance happens to verify, we could see a tenth to a quarter of an inch of rain, and high temperatures would fall back into the 80s. In fact, may even see highs stay in the 70s next Friday, or certainly next Saturday. This is the 21st as that trough passes on by. Big ridge for the eastern part of the country as the pattern amplifies quite a bit. And then this is the end of the 10-day forecast period, Sunday, the 22nd of October. A dry northwest flow, temperatures rebounding very nicely. It is still October and it can still be pretty warm around here. Let's hope that we don't have another one of those late October surprises like last year where we hit 100 degrees, but I don't think so. Highs could get back in the low 90s, though, and the sky would be mostly sunny. Let's check the temperatures coming off of the GFS ensemble through the period, and you see that dip in the temps late next week, mid-80s, and again, we could be cooler than that if we start to see some rain around here, and boy, would that ever be nice. And that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video back here on Monday morning. You guys have yourselves a safe weekend. And stay cool out there. If you like our videos, be sure to subscribe so that whenever we post a brand new one, you'll get the notifications. Thanks for watching. See you on Monday.